I hate owls. I hate them.
Why? Do you have beef with owls?
Have you ever seen an owl without any feathers? Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of How Have You Been? A weekly chat where we just discuss what we've been up to.
Talk nonsense.
Yeah, talk nonsense, that's right. So how have you been, Hannah?
Hello. I've been good, thank you. Pretty busy week. Lots of work. Very boring. Very mundane. Let's get into it.
Yeah, well that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Analysing the quotidian, the mundane aspects of life, the moments where we can witness entropy. I think
it only took us 1 minute to get fancy. Congratulations.
Well, I do think a lot about entropy, but specifically this word Kippel. Have you ever heard Kippel before?
No.
Okay, so Kippel, it was an invention of Philip K. Dick. And he used to, in all his work, there's like few main themes. What is reality? But also the heat death of the universe. That kind of comes across in a lot of his work. And he talks a lot about Kippel. Kippel is always increasing in all his across his work. He is, and Kippel is essentially like rubbish or like dust or stuff. The stuff that you don't need, it kind of just always reproducing, and the moment you turn your back on it, it's treacherous and it increases exponentially.
Oh wait, is it like a force or is it a concept? Is it something substantial? Is it a metaphor?
Yeah, it's a metaphor for the heat death of the universe, isn't it? Like things breaking down from complex forms into simple forms, and that's a really roundabout way for me to tell you what this podcast is about. It's about analysing Kippel. It's
getting fancier.
It's the analysis of the of
disintegrated
complex forms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like lottery ticket and scratch cards and serial killers.
Right. Well, scratch cards are a perfect example of Kippel. You buy them, you scratch them.
You get some dust on your fingers.
Yeah, it goes from a complex form to an even simpler form. And then over time, it does it even more, right? Because the paper disintegrates. So it goes from being a paper to being whatever paper decomposes into.
There we go.
Feel free to write in and let us know what paper decomposes into.
Let us know in the comments. We obviously don't. I actually wanted to talk about something today because something happened today that really brightened my Friday in a very unexpected way. I received a present from my father. And we'll talk more about how my father picks up gifts for me. Because that's a whole different story. But the International Women's Day is coming, and in Ukraine we still celebrate it as like we have a holiday, have a day off on Monday, even though the holiday itself is on Sunday. So for this holiday, my father decided to just send me something, a gift. And I went to the post office, I picked it up, and when I opened it, I was genuinely confused.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. What was it he bought you?
I just want to say, for the record, disclaimer, that I am a 30-year-old woman, and my father sent me a mechanical owl for this holiday.
What, like tin? Is it made of tin? Like, what do you mean a mechanical owl?
It looks like a stuffed toy. It moves and screeches and does that at random. So now it's perched on my bookshelf. I turned it off because anything sets it off. I have no idea how to control this owl. It moves its feathers, moves its wings, moves its head, evidently. And believe it or not, I just looked at the box and it says that this toy has like pretty good storage, like memory unit built in. So probably I need to Google and maybe I can even record something on that owl and just use it. What piques my interest is what was going on in my father's head when he thought, okay, so International Women's Day is coming. What should I give my daughter, a 30-year-old woman? Oh, this mechanical owl looks kind of nice. Because owls are wise and like women are wise. I don't know.
I think he knows you better than you think. He's probably... you think of him as buying this as an earnest present, where I think he knows that you're actually going to find it really funny to open a mechanical owl. There's something quite similar that happens in my family home. My mum once let slip that she loved owls or liked owls. Probably a passing comment. Every year, Christmas, her birthday, she gets something that is owl-based, which doesn't sound too horrific on the odd occasion, but this has been probably close to 30 years of owl purchases. So there's about 60 to 100 different owls in my family home. Like
all locked in one room or just scattered around the house?
There's one room in particular.
Oh, it's even worse.
There's one room in particular that is filled with like stuffed owls or wooden owls or wooden key rings or wooden owl coasters.
It's the owl room.
So yeah, it's referred to as the owl room in our family house. I think it's actually got like I should point out that my family house is not like a Victorian mansion with like a west wing or anything. It is like a 2.4 children bog standard 1970s house, right? Perfectly lovely, perfectly fine, but I don't want the impression by naming things the owl room. But yeah, there is something about owls that people seem to latch on, like the mythology of them being wise, that it's an okay gift to give to somebody. I hate owls. I hate them.
Why? Do you have beef with owls?
But have you ever seen an owl without any feathers?
Without any feathers?
Yeah.
Like in real life?
Google it.
No, I've been lucky. I've been spared.
It's horrific. Owl with...
They look so cute with feathers. I mean, I've seen owls in real life a few times. I've seen one dead. I've seen one kill herself.
You've seen an owl kill itself? Have a look at this.
And why would you want to look at an owl without feathers? Any bird would look horrific without feathers.
No, but I think...
Why would you disintegrate an owl?
But I feel missold because to me it feels like their body comes down much lower than it does. I feel like they're fooling me, like I'm being lied to by the owl.
Oh, so you do have beef with owls.
Well,
I don't know, I think owls are one of the prettiest birds ever. And there are birds that are seriously ugly out there, I'm sorry to all the ornithologists, but some birds are seriously ugly.
You're so normative.
And frightening.
I had no idea you were so normative that you'd go for an owl.
What do you mean?
Over like, I'd take a manky chicken over an owl any day. A lonely chicken.
Oh, seriously?
A lonely chicken that's in the corner of its pen. It's sad, it's upset. It doesn't get much...
You worked at a chicken farm. Let's not forget.
Yeah,
you have an obligation. I think you have like some unfinished business with chickens. You side with them now.
I will. The guilt. The chicken guilt.
Snapping their little legs with your fingers. And now you're like and now you have beef with owls.
You took way too much delight in saying the word snapping. Then somewhere, for some reason, somewhere for some reason, a chicken has just started crying and it doesn't know why, and it's because of you. Sure. Anyway, we have the family house, which is called we have the owl room, but we also have something called the Craig Revel Horwood room.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? The grey what?
Craig, you would say Crag, I think. Crag Craig Revel Horwood room. I think he's called that. Horwood.
Is he a friend of yours?
Is he a friend of mine? I'll show you what he looks like. So
He looks like an owl.
He's an Australian-British dancer and author, allegedly.
His hairline is something else.
Yes. Well, yeah, he was very famous. But the reason why my mum has a room named after him is because she is an aspiring artist. And she's really good at drawing, like copying and realism. And my family house is sort of like peppered with these uncanny celebrity images. One of them being Craig Revel Horwood. So my mum is really good, but the one thing she can't seem to do, and that's perhaps a little unfair, one thing that she perhaps struggles to do is she just struggles to pick a subject. So she will just go, I'll just draw them because I've got a good picture of them and I'll just copy it, which is fine because that's what she focuses on. But it does make for an interesting walk through the family house when you've got Sharon Osbourne, Craig Revel Horwood, some unknown, next to some unknown person that she's got from Hello magazine. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I
actually have a similar thing in terms of drawing. I have always been pretty good, not really good, but just like average, normal, with copying. So I could do some good imitation, but then if I needed to come up with something, I would struggle so much just to come up with an original idea, especially if it comes to nature. Which is interesting because I've seen so much, and you'd think that I could reproduce some in my head just by looking at an empty canvas, but no.
Well, you got good memory.
I do. That's why I copy.
Yeah.
It's what always amazes me about artists. Dancers, musicians, painters. Because I think pretty much everyone, if they have enough time and discipline, can master a skill and copy. Like you can learn a dance routine and do it really well. You can learn a musical piece and reproduce it. You can copy a painting or copy from a photo. How do you create original work? How do you come up with a dance? How do you come up with a song with an image in your head and then paint it? This is to me that 1% of talent.
Yeah, but don't you think that's just like Helsinki Bus Theory?
What's that?
Helsinki Bus Theory was, I can't remember who invented it. Let me see if I can find it. But it's basically, I think in Helsinki, the story goes that there's not a single bus route that goes out from the city that is circular. They're all one way and then right back. So when you get on the bus, if the bus is full, and as you go down the route, fewer and fewer people are on the bus with you until you're the last person on that bus. So the idea being that if you're a creative, you pick one bus route and you stay on that until you're the last person to it. So the idea of like inspiration striking you and you just being a brilliant artist, I'm sure there's people out there that are like that, but majority of it's hard work. The successful artists I know, musicians, one specifically I can think of, his success has been born out of majority graft, sitting there doing 14 hours on his music, and then from that graft developed an unusual approach to music. So Helsinki Bus Station Theory, popular metaphor used by the Finnish photographer, can't pronounce that name.
Don't even try.
Yeah, so that to explain the artistic journey.
Don't get me wrong, I don't believe in like talent, that some people are just born talented, or some people are just born good artists or musicians or dancers or whoever. I do believe in craft, and I think it takes like 90% at least of you just doing the work day in and day out. And I understand that you can get good at something. Not that I don't understand it, but where I struggle is when you start creating something yourself from your own mind. Do you just do that through repetition? Like, for example, you're a kid and your parents give you to musical school, so you just learn theory and notes and everything, and then years and years and years of you just learning something and reproducing something that's been written before you. And then you get good enough, or you have enough knowledge to start and creating music yourself, coming up with something yourself. Is that how that works?
I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but when I've been sat composing, it's because, or something feels good, it's because I've probably practiced it so much, it's muscle memory, and I don't think about it. So then you're able to think about the feeling. But there's so many different approaches to composition. You know, you could sit down and you could write a chord progression just on paper without even hearing it, and you would know that that chord progression works in a certain way because of you understand the cadence and kind of like the mathematics behind what each chord is, right? So there are different approaches.
Composing to me is the most difficult form of art to comprehend, because I think I'm more of a visual person or visual learner, so I can understand sitting down to watching it and looking at an empty canvas and just having an idea of a painting in your head, and close my eyes and like see the shapes and colors, and maybe I see a still life or a portrait or something abstract. I can understand coming up with a dance routine, like again seeing the movements in your head, not understand music. Never could.
Yeah, but how much exposure have you had to it? Like, how much exposure have you had? Like,
that's true. Very little. I haven't tried to learn a musical instrument ever.
Well, maybe you should. Maybe that should be your belated New Year's resolution. What would it be?
Oh no.
What would you pick? Penny whistle. Penny whistle would be good because you can carry it. You can carry it around with you. It sounds like I'm being flippant, but I'm really not. You can carry it around with you. Do it wherever. What would you learn if you could learn something?
What would I learn?
Yeah, if you had the time to, because it's not like you've got any spare time ever.
Me? I don't. You mean the musical instrument?
Yeah.
Which kind?
Yeah.
Oh, piano. I do piano.
Piano. Yeah. The thing about piano is, when I was growing up, the piano was sort of substituted by keyboards. So you get given a keyboard if you're going to learn it. And that just felt false. I didn't have a...
Fake.
Yeah, I didn't have a piano growing up, so... and my friends that did learnt the piano and were really good, and I was really jealous. Deeply jealous. I had a friend called Stephen Bryan, and he I mean, to be honest, he could put his mind to anything and he would just pick it up. I mean, like, he decided one day that he's going to be the best at, like, triple jump, and so he just became the best in the county at triple jump. He decided...
What a specific ambition.
Yeah, well, he decided that he wanted to be a pianist and just started practicing the piano and was just really good.
Even where I grew up, we had one kind of like, it wasn't even a musical school, we just had one music teacher. He used to teach kids to play piano, and how it worked is you were either born into a house with a piano, so you had to inherit one, or if you haven't, there was no chance of your parents buying it for you or anything. Not in my time. Not in my family. So I didn't have one. No one in my family was ever musical, even remotely. No one ever played any instrument. And I was extremely jealous of my friends who used to go and practice their solfeggio or whatever. And I remember them being so mean about it. And they would say that, oh, it's the most tedious thing. I'd rather like play football on the streets. And I was so jealous. I wanted to trade places with them so much.
Where, is this where your love of Evanescence comes from?
Oh my God! Will I ever live that down? See, I had no choice. I was pushed into Evanescence by lack of a piano in my house.
Yeah, we finally got to the core.
The root cause of all my issues.
Yeah, finally. Yeah.
Lost. Speaking of bad gifts, do you want to talk about bad gifts or just weird gifts?
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about bad gifts. I want,
maybe not bad specifically. Maybe just
your
weird,
owl,
because mechanical owl was not a bad gift.
No, it's not, and it's brought you so much joy. But it does remind me of the gift, the first present I ever gave to a girl, which was I only had like £2.70 or £2.75 in my wallet. I didn't have much money. And I must have been about 15, and I knew it was their birthday coming up, so I knew I had to get them something. So I went to Wrexham Indoor Market and decided that I would buy whatever I could afford that was kind of romantic or soft or gentle. And the only thing I could find in that price range was a porcelain nodding dog, like maybe a Labrador. Yeah, and it wasn't.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a porcelain nodding dog, and I think when I gave it them, they were so confused. They were just like absolutely so confused by it.
I remember I did something I thought was very funny at the time, and now I think that it was just mean of me to do that. My first boyfriend I used to date was from quite a poor family, and he couldn't afford to buy me any nice presents and nice gifts. And when we were dating, we were around like 14, 15. So of course, he didn't also want to accept any gifts from me because he couldn't reciprocate. And I remember on his birthday, I decided to do something sweet. So I bought a mini car, just like a toy car, a miniature, his favorite car. And I also bought a huge box, like a really big box. And I put that little car in that very big box, and I wrapped it and everything. And it looked grandiose. It looked like this huge, magnificent present. And I've given him this box, and he looked so confused and frankly a little bit, I think, uncomfortable. He was like, oh, please, no, you shouldn't have, because I didn't give you anything for your birthday. And he was so confused, and I just kept waiting for him to open that box and be relieved that it's just one little car, like a miniature car. And he opened it, and he was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. And I thought that was so clever and so sweet and so funny. Now I realized that it was probably super mean.
Yeah, that's
of me to do that.
That's really mean.
Just gave a guy a jump scare.
I did once receive a board game from my parents, which was a second-hand copy of the Neighbours board game. Do you have Neighbours in Ukraine?
Yeah, we hate them. We're currently trying to get rid of them.
The soap opera.
Oh, you mean board game?
No, I mean the soap opera.
The soap opera? No.
Yeah, it's set.
Or maybe we have something just called differently.
It was really confusing for me because I'd never expressed any particular interest for Neighbours, the soap opera, and then to receive a board game that was second-hand, fine, don't really care about that, but the fact it was second-hand meant that it was about 10 years out of date, and they're talking about characters that didn't exist in the soap opera anymore, so I didn't even have a point of reference when we were playing it.
That's a bit mean.
Well, I've realised that we've just slowly turned this whole thing into like trauma chat.
Again.
Yeah.
I just needed an excuse to talk about the mechanical owl.
I mean, that doesn't come under bad presents anyway. That comes under good presents. That comes under good presents, right?
Mechanical owl? Yes, 100%.
It's 100%.
Unlike a giant ham leg and heavily airbrushed portrait of myself 10 years younger than I am right now, looking horrific. These are all from your dad, right? Yes. He has a particular thing about picking out gifts. Sometimes they are super thoughtful. Like he's given me a really cool coffee maker. I drink coffee a lot, so I really wanted one, and he given me a really fancy one. That was good. It was a practical gift, something that I really enjoy, something that is very me. But then he'd give me like a giant ham leg, even though I've never expressed any affinity to ham.
What did you do with the ham leg?
Oh man, let's not talk about it.
No, but people are going to be interested in like what was so wrong with it, because most of my friends would be like, fucking yeah, you got a ham leg from your parents. I'm coming round for some tapas.
Yeah, that's what I did, because a lot of my friends really enjoy that meat. And that's what I did, but it was really huge. And I had to keep it somewhere. Couldn't keep it in the fridge, obviously. Couldn't keep it on the balcony, because my balcony is just like an open balcony. And I have cats at my place. So that ham leg was just standing there in my kitchen on a counter. You can imagine how much cat hair it accumulated over the time.
By that point, it's not looking good.
Yeah, and I haven't touched it because I don't like that. I don't like ham. I don't like that kind of meat. So I haven't touched it ever. I invited people over. People have eaten it.
You're going to get complaints now. People are saying, I trusted you. I came round and I thought it was
but
just...
They've been warned. I haven't. I was upfront about it. And then at some point I just realized that I don't want to look at a ham leg anymore. Every time I wake up and make coffee, I don't want it to be there. I don't want it in my house. And it was really heavy on that, like, it had a little, like a pedestal, like a little wooden holder. And I had to get rid of it. So what I did is I invited a friend over and they helped me to just like get the leg out to the dumpster. And that's where we left it.
Could you not have like shaved the meat off it and made like a stew?
Honestly, I thought by that point it had gone a bit,
Yeah, with all the cat hair and the multiple people chewing on it. Well, I think that's all we've got time for today, Hannah. Thanks so much for joining me on an episode of How Have You Been? And I look forward to talking to you next week. Hopefully we will also get your friend Olia in for a conversation. But until then, it's goodbye from Hannah.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
You've been listening to Beans on Borscht. May the noble art of podcasting prevail.